All right, welcome back to another meditation moment. Today is March 27th, and we will be coming from the scripture in Lamentations 3:27. This is a book that people typically don't read, but we are all about growing our faith, being exposed to different scriptures. And if you are enjoying your devotional, please share it in the comments below. If you still need one, it's not too late to order so you can follow along with us every week. All right, let's get started. It says, and it is good for people to submit at an early age to the yoke of his discipline. Lamentations 3:27. It is good. So this is a little bit of a corrective, or I guess you could say instructional verse, because it's telling us something that God considers good. Now, this is never a human opinion when we're talking about the Bible. This is God's opinion. This is God's view and perspective, and it is the correct perspective. So we have to shift the way we think to align it to the way God's word says. So it says it is good for people to submit. Now, that word submit oftentimes throws a lot of people for a loop because they feel like they don't want other people controlling them, telling them what to do. And people have the wrong idea of submission. Submission is really referring to an authority that is good for you, because what it's saying is that you don't know everything. It's really a form of humility. You don't know everything, and you can't do everything by yourself. And so you have to submit to some sort of leadership, to some sort of correction, guidance. And in this example, it's talking about submitting to God. And it's saying at an early age. Now, when I read that and it talks about early age, I think about children. And I think about sometimes there's a debate in modern culture about whether or not children should be disciplined. People can believe in whoopings, all that kind of stuff. I'm not here to debate about it because it's biblical. And it's talking about true discipline, though, not just like getting to say what you want to say to your child because they're a child and you're an adult. This is referring to good for people to submit at an early age, because guess what? When you get older, that same submission applies. If you learn to submit when you're younger, it becomes easier when you're older because you understand right and wrong, and you don't have to put aside yourself. You don't have to let go of your flesh as much when you get older because you did it when you were younger. And it's important to grow up with that type of mindset. So it says it is good for people to submit at an early age to the yoke of discipline. Now, that yoke word is also something that will trip people up because people want to be free. They don't want to be entangled. They don't want to be bound. They don't want to be, people use all these extreme descriptions. And being yoked of his discipline is saying that where he goes, we go. What he says, we say. We don't move on our own accord, and you have to be disciplined in order not to move on your own accord. So when I learned about the yoke, I learned about it from the situation of farming. And so it's a donkey being yoked to do farm work. And you can't go where the yoke is not guiding you to go as a donkey. You got to go where your master is telling you to go, and they have to submit to the yoke. Otherwise, they can get injured. And we have to do the same thing. We have to submit to the yoke that God is providing for us to submit to, and it's going to be okay. We're going to live and thrive. If you stop resisting, you're going to be fine. And that's what you'll find out, along the way. But I'd rather people find out now than find out later. I should have just listened. Don't be one of those types of people when it comes to someone of the faith, because you're just not willing to let go of yourself and your pride in order to listen to where God is trying to lead you to. So we have to stop. And then we should be encouraging our young people to be yoked, to discipline. That's why we have to discipline as parents as well. All right, the reflection also reads, embrace the discipline God is trying to build in you now, despite what you didn't have in your younger years. So it doesn't matter who you were, who your parents were, what they said, what they did, your past. It's talking about now. You need to take on the mindset that you are going to embrace what discipline feels like and looks like of God, and you're going to allow him to build you now. not when you're ready. You're going to go ahead and submit to him now. It's going to make your life easier as you go forward. And sometimes we just got to chalk it up to, okay, I didn't know then, but I know better now. I'm going to do better now. So I hope that this is a good, helpful, and corrective scripture for you to reflect on today during your meditation time. And I plan to see you all back here next week.